Hello, I'm Father Scott Vanderveer, and today I'd like to chat with you a little bit about love. Love is the reason that we're here. In Scripture, it says that God is love. And since God made us, it means we are made from love, by love, in love. So when God creates human beings, God intends us to live in love, in all of love's many forms. And love is what makes life worth living. People who don't have love in their life, in its various forms, often don't wish to live any longer. They lose the zest for life. And it is love that makes you not want to die. If you think about what it would be like to be told you have a very serious illness that will soon take your life. If you're like most people, one of the first thoughts you will have is, please, just one more Christmas. Let me at least have one more Christmas. Let me get to my birthday or to my spouse's birthday. Just allow me to have one more summer in Maine or on Cape Cod or wherever it is that we have our family traditions. Just allow me to have time to say goodbye to the people that I love and tell them how much they mean to me. If you think about what it means to feel like, no, I don't want to leave this life yet. When you realize that people who are given a mortal threat will fight with all they've got to preserve their lives, you realize that love is what is behind everything. And love can't be hoarded. It doesn't exist if it's not shared. The way you keep love is by giving love away. That's always the way it's been. So Mother Teresa is the one who hit the nail on the head when she said, the trouble with love is not in doing it, because love feels good. But life, she said, is hard. So we need to learn how to love without getting tired. Can you relate to the challenge of that? Trying to love without getting tired. So I wanted to share with you today 3 metaphors that may help you imagine what it would feel like to love without getting tired. All of these things express ways that we can live in the world and spread our love as widely as possible. The first one is a bonfire. Imagine the difference between a blowtorch, which is a form of fire, a fireplace, which is a form of fire, and a great big outdoor bonfire. A bonfire is meant to be encircled by many people. The warmth of a bonfire is meant to be spread equally among all the people who are there. All you need to do is come close to a bonfire, and you will feel the warmth and see the glow. Other forms of fire are more specific. You have to be very close to a blowtorch to experience the flame. Only 2 or 3 people can sit close to a fire in a fireplace. But a bonfire could be big enough to have a whole community gather around it. One of our goals is to become like bonfires of love, so that our light is offered to everyone who comes close, and no one gets to own it or hoard it. It's shared among all. A bonfire is one image of what we can do. So that means in the bonfire image, anyone who comes near us, anyone we come in contact with, is going to feel the warmth of our love. That doesn't mean that we're necessarily in some sort of very committed relationship with them. We may not even know them. A bonfire makes no distinctions between a dear, beloved person and a stranger. Bonfires offer the light and the glow and the warmth to all. So if we become a bonfire, when we walk into a grocery store or a gas station convenience store, we are in no way expecting only to greet our friends or people that we know. Our goal is to burn with love, and whoever comes near will feel it. Another image of love that might be helpful when we try to think about how to love without getting tired is to be like a shade tree. Like a tree that has leafy boughs that canopy all of the ground beneath. If a person wants to come and sit under that leafy bough, he or she is welcome. The good, the bad, the stranger, the friend, the brute and the bully, as well as the sweetheart and the benefactor. Everyone gets to come and sit under that shade. A tree never says, "Oh no, not you. Not you. I won't give shade to you. I'm going to spread my branches apart so the sun will beat down on you because I only give shade to those I choose." No, a tree effortlessly gives shade to anyone who comes near, is an oasis, is a refuge. So maybe that's something that we can do to be more graceful. Maybe we can offer grace and patience to people who come near us, providing the kind of shelter and oasis that a shade tree provides, rather than looking for ways to refute or get into conflict. We make it our goal to be a refuge, a place of cool shelter that will ease the beating down of the heat and the glare on the people who come near us. A last image for how we can love without getting tired is to imagine how great sources of energy don't need to feel overwhelmed by however many people are drawing from that energy. A great priest of our diocese who is deceased and now lives with God is Father Bob Roos, who once said that love is like going to the beach. The sun shines down on all the beachgoers, and whether that beach has 5 people on it or 5,000, they're all going to get the same tan. The sun shines because that's what it does. It's not trying to get attention. It's not trying to burn in some areas more brightly or hotter than others. The sun just shines. As long as the clouds aren't obscuring it, that sun is going to bake that beach. And if you're on that beach with 5 other people, or 5,000, or 50,000, it doesn't deplete the power of the sun. No one gets less of a tan because they have to share it with others. Everybody gets the same treatment. I've got friends who have a number of children. I was just visiting recently with one of my dear friends from my teaching days who now is the mother of 5, and her youngest son is my godson. She doesn't run out of love for her kids. It's impossible that she has just a limited amount of love, and when the 5th kid came, all of them got a little bit less. Love is not like a cake that you have to cut into smaller slices if there's more people at the party. There is endless love that gets to go around. So I think that it's good for us to imagine the kind of ways that we can become like bonfires, like shade trees, or like the sun on the beach. There was a woman in Ravenna at St. Patrick's Church who I greatly admired. Everyone there knows that I talk about her quite often, even though I only knew her for 2 weeks. She died on Thanksgiving Day in 2015. I had just arrived at the parish earlier that month. I only got to know her the last couple of weeks of her life, but I learned a lot from her. And one of the things I always remember about her is she was like a bonfire. She burned brightly, and she burned so brightly, and her warmth was so sensible, no matter who you were. All you had to do was come close to her, and she would treat you the same way as she would treat someone who had been by her side for many years. She did so many things that would have made other people tired. But she had found out how to burn like a bonfire so she could love without getting tired. Many of the things that I heard about her didn't come to light until after she died. It was not long after the Thanksgiving day that she passed away that I was meeting some neighbors who had known her. I was talking to them about another matter, but I said to them, I'm preparing for the funeral of Mary Tiberia, and I would love to have some stories about her life if you know any. I've collected quite a few. When you think of Mary Tiberia, what comes to mind? And they said, what comes to mind is when a neighbor of ours, someone a few doors down, lost a child in a motorcycle accident. They were beyond devastated. The mother of the son who died didn't get out of bed for weeks. Mary Tiberia, a week after their loss, went to the door of their house and rang the doorbell. When they opened the door, they saw her there with a vacuum cleaner and a bucket full of supplies, and she put her finger to her lips and she said, shh, 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 shh. You don't have to say a word. I am here to clean your house. I am here to serve you. I am so sorry for what you're going through. You don't need to say a word to me. Please just let me enter and clean your house for you. And as that grieving mother laid in her bed with a washcloth on her forehead, Mary Tiberia cleaned her house all around her. I don't know if she knew that woman very well, because Mary was a bonfire. She just burned. She did good things no matter where she was, and loving was just part of her life. So whenever there was an opportunity to love, that was just like another log for the fire. Every opportunity was a log that bonfire had to burn. And I don't know where she got her accelerant. I don't know who poured the lighter fluid on that bonfire, but we know what it contained. Sweet Mary Tiberia teaches us how to love without getting tired. There's no such thing as love that doesn't show up as help or concern or action, because love can only be experienced when we give it away. The way we keep love is by giving it to one and all. Let us together work to love without getting tired. God bless you.